quieres poner de música a tu teléfono? Con un playlist que se llama Rose Branch.
Welcome, everybody. Give it a few more minutes.
Lo que quieras, no veo Latin.
Yo no sé si tú estás aborrecida, hay algo que no puedo entender. Antes de eso te amanecía, si ahora casi ni te dejas ver. Yo no te
Welcome, everybody, to our class today. We are so blessed to have Isabela with us today, and she's going to teach us one of her favorite recipes, which is her Enchiladas Divorciadas. And with that, I'll hand it over to you, Isabela, and thank you for inviting us into your home.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the introduction, Teresa. And welcome back to another cooking class with Northgate. As Teresa mentioned, I'm your host for this evening. My name is Isabela, and today we will be cooking well, actually, it's kind of two recipes in one, okay? And we're ending with a drink, okay? So before we get started, I want to introduce myself, and I feel like I say this every class, but I know there's new people watching. So I am a food photographer, a food stylist, and a chef. My passion is to cook and share my food through others. You can say that cooking is my love language, and that's how I share a little bit about me. And I love to serve others, and I love to cook my food. And it's really excites me when all of you get to learn with me and you actually make these recipes at home, and then like text me or Instagram me and say that, oh my God, I finally did enchiladas and they're great. Y a la suegra le encantó. The mother-in-law, no, just kidding. But honestly, I'm very blessed to be here and to be teaching and learning together. So let's get started. Today we have a very classic Mexican dish. You can say it's one of those Mexican food and people think of enchiladas, right? And today we are making enchiladas divorciadas. And what that means is enchiladas, divorced enchiladas, because we're using two different salsas, and that's what we call dishes that are served together and have different salsas. But today I don't want to use the palabra divorciadas. I want to use peleadas, okay? So they're different, okay? I don't want to use that word, pero así se llaman, enchiladas divorciadas. And we're going to be learning how to make salsa roja, and a classic salsa roja for enchiladas, and a classic salsa verde for las verdes, okay? And we're going to actually bake them together in the same dish, and they both get different, they each get different toppings, okay? So that's one thing. And if you guys have any questions, please place them in the chat, and we're happy to answer any of them. And we're ending with Agua Fresca de Piña con Albahaca, which is a pineapple agua fresca with basil. And yes, you can add piquete to it. We will be adding piquete to it because it's almost the weekend, you guys, and we're ready. So let's get started. I am going to be making my salsa roja first, okay? The recipe calls for 1 pasilla chile, dried, hydrated, and what we do is we hydrate it in warm water until it's nice and pliable, just like this. It used to be dry, but now it's pliable. And we're going to be using 3 guajillos that we also did the same thing. They're dried and we hydrated them in water. We're going to be using 6 tomatoes that I roughly chopped. It doesn't matter. We're going to just cook them, and we're going to saute them, and we're going to burn them, okay? We'll be using half an onion. And we'll be using half an onion, 2 garlic cloves, and 1 serrano, okay, chopped. Everything just roughly chopped because we are going to blend it, saute it. Okay, I'm gonna start with 1 tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil in here in my pan. Oh, and before that, oven must be preheated to 350 degrees, okay? Because they're just gonna be baked at the end so the cheese melts, okay? So in here I have 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add my onion, my garlic, and my chile serrano, okay? If you don't want to do that much spice, a recipe calls for 1 serrano just chopped. You can also get rid of the veins and the seeds if you don't want to do too much spiciness, okay? So we're gonna fry or saute our onion and our garlic and our serranos, okay? Just about 2 minutes. You just want them to be a bit fragrant. Not necessarily, you're not looking for that super translucent onions because we're also gonna add our tomatoes and they have a lot of water and they're gonna help our cebollita, our onions mix to cook, okay? Ooh. Oh my God, and this smells so good. And after I'm done with the salsa roja, I do want to mention that the salsa verde, we make it a little differently, okay? So this one, we're actually going to saute all the ingredients and then blend. And for the verde, we're going to boil our ingredients and then blend. So it's a little different, but I like making them. I always make both of them because my house is divided. But my house is actually divided. We have like Team Rojas and Team Verdes, okay? Equipo Verde, Equipo Rojo. And a lot of people, I did a poll on my Instagram and actually el Equipo Verde ganó. But a lot of people told me if they can choose both, and that's why I decided to make a recipe with actually both in the same baking dish, okay? Instead of actually making 2 separate recipes. So now we're gonna add our tomatoes, our 6 tomatoes, chopped in here. And I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt and a little pinch of pepper, just a little bit, because the salt's gonna help all the juices from the vegetables come out faster. And I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper. And we are gonna season at the end after blending, we're gonna season as well. Any questions on enchiladas? I also love enchiladas suizas, which is enchilada verde that has, the sauce has cream in it, crema. But these are your traditional verde y rojas. Ooh, this smells so good. Chile, tomate, cebolla, y guajillos. There we go. Turn it up a little bit. And we're gonna saute this for about 5 minutes, just until those tomatoes are starting to cook. It smells so good. Okay. And we are going to blend. I'm gonna start adding, while that cooks, I'm gonna start adding my pasilla that we hydrated and my 3 guajillos, okay? Chiles. And this is what gives it that that nice, a little bit darker red to our salsa, okay, to our enchilada salsa. Any questions? We're good?
Everything's good.
Perfect. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit on my salsa verde because I went ahead and actually prepped for this. And in here, maybe you can show them. In here, I have 10 tomatillos that I husked and rinsed whole, that I left whole. I have half an onion, I have serrano, and I have 2 garlic cloves that I placed in a saucepan in boiling water for about, I honestly believe, let's see, it's for about 5 to 7 minutes. You cook them in boiling water and you cook them until they are this color. Tomatillos are nice and bright color and they will turn this olive color, okay? So that's when you know you're done. And when you see that they're done after cooking and that they're this olive green color, just remove them from the water. You only need the tomatillos. You don't need extra. They actually have enough water in here because they've been sitting, but it's from the tomatillos. And this is gonna be blended with cilantro, okay? So we have 10 tomatillos half an onion, 1 serrano, and 2 garlic cloves that I cooked in boiling water. I'm just gonna toss my salsa. I also like enmoladas, but those are not, well, they're technically enchiladas with mole, so I really like those too. And I feel like these are a classic.
Isabella, they want to know if pasilla is the same as chile ancho.
Yes, it is. It is. And sometimes the bag says pasilla ancho. So yes, it is the same as the chile ancho. So this is looking nice and sauteed. And then you can show them how it looks before we actually blend it. So that's how these guys are. You can see that the skin is starting to peel. We have our onion that's a little translucent already. So this is good to go, okay? So I'm gonna repeat what's in the pan. Yes, in the pan are 6 tomatoes chopped, 1 serrano chopped, half an onion chopped, and 2 garlic cloves. All sauteed with 1 tablespoon of avocado oil, and you're good to go. Scallions. Ooh, that serrano smells so good. You can always add an extra serrano if you want to do that extra kick, okay? The other chiles are more mainly for flavor. They're not as they're not for a spiciness. They're just kind of smoky, and they'll add flavor and color. You can definitely go ahead and add an extra chile if you want to do super spicy enchiladas, okay? It smells so good. Okay, so Lisa, in here. Remember, we're gonna blend until smooth, and we're gonna season at the end with salt and pepper, okay? Let's blend, you guys. I like to leave it completely silky and smooth. Question?
Is the chile ancho rehydrated or roasted?
No, it's rehydrated. Okay, so it's what I do is I grab a little saucepan and I place water and let it boil. And when it's boiling, I add my dried chiles and I let them cook for about maybe like 4 to 5 minutes until they're nice and soft and pliable. Okay. I'm going to continue a blend because I want this salsa to be silky and smooth, and I'm going to continue the blend, okay? You're also going to add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to our salsa. Because sometimes you know that enchiladas or hot sauce have that acidity, so we're gonna add that. And I love how apple cider vinegar is. It is vinegar, but it's not like super powering. It just helps everything come together. So we're gonna blend that. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna try this. Wait, you can see it got a little darker. Okay, that's really good, but it does need salt. Do a little bit more salt. And we're gonna use a little bit of pepper. And we're gonna blend. Remember to season to taste. looks really good, and I'll show you. I'll do a little bit more salt. So we've got a lot of tomatoes going on. We have a lot of onions, so we need flavor. That is good. Want to show them? That's perfect, you guys. Remember to season to taste. So this is how you want it. You want it silky and smooth, okay? And I'm gonna place it in a bowl because I need to use my blender a couple of times for this recipe, but it's worth it, okay? I'm gonna add my salsa in here. You can now do a close-up of this while I wash the blender really quickly. So it needs to be nice and smooth, just like that. And it has like a dark orangey color, okay? And also, another thing is I was thinking about this, that I always make my salsa roja like this, right? And why I make my tomatillos the way I make them differently. So I like to actually saute my onion and everything to feel the flavors come out really well. And tomatillos, I feel like they really go really nice and boiled because you use a lot of that moisture that they have in the inside, okay? Las semillas and everything. So that's why I cook them differently. So in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our tomatillos, our 10 tomatillos, our serrano, our 2 garlic cloves, and our half an onion. And I'm gonna blend, okay? And we're going to add 1 cup of cilantro.
We have people cooking with you tonight, Isabela.
Blend it really well as well, very smoothly. I want to get rid of as much as the little cilantro leaves that you can see. I want to blend them as much as I can. Okay? I want it to be the same. What I was saying, I feel like they told me you didn't hear me. So I like to blend this salsa the same as the red one. I like to completely make it smooth, and I want to get rid as much as of the cilantro pieces and leave it super smooth, okay? Ooh. And this was my family's go-to salsa verde, and we always have this in the fridge. And actually, during the summer, my mom would add cubes of avocado to it, and she would leave the salsa in the fridge, and then you would get like taquitos or whatever, and you would scoop them out, and they would have little cubes of avocado, okay? So that's a really good one. So she's the one that likes the salsa verde, perhaps. So let's try that. That looks really good. Doesn't look, it tastes really good. Okay, mira, muy bien. Okay, we got a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Ooh, that was good. And I'm just going to, sorry, I had too much coffee today. You can tell. Salsa verde and salsa roja, okay? And you can also use these salsas for something else. You don't have to do, you can do a lot of things, okay? Which is good. Ooh, look at this. So we have la roja and we have la verde. Since I don't need the blender anymore, I'm gonna leave this in here, and it's easier for when I am actually assembling my enchiladas. Es como una fábrica de enchiladas, okay? Aquí. Okay, what I'm gonna do next, now that you have both of your salsas, I'm gonna heat a pan with oil, this first skillet. Oil, I'm gonna do it high. Because what we're gonna do is, we are going to warm up the tortillas. We're gonna do what they call it a flash fry, which is a quick fry in here. I'm gonna do a quick fry of these tortillas, just enough, about 10 seconds, just enough until they're pliable, okay? But they are gonna have a little bit of, well, they are gonna be a little fried, okay? But that's how you make enchiladas. Let me get rid of these guys. And I'm using, of course, Northgate's signature tortillas de maíz. Clean up a bit here. Any questions? We're gonna allow for the oil to heat. And while we allow that oil to cook, I'm gonna grab my chicken, and what you're, you can buy 2 rotisserie chickens and then just shred them and use whatever favorite part of the chicken. I normally, what I do is I cook 2 chicken breasts in the water with 1 onion and 2 bay leaves, a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it. And I like to use that chicken broth or other stuff. So those 2 chicken breasts is what I shred, okay? I'm gonna bring that out. Honestly, I cooked about like 5 pechugas. So I cooked about 5 chicken breasts this week. So you're gonna see a mountain of shredded chicken, but you don't need as much, okay? You only need 2 chicken breasts. But I do have a great tip for you guys. I don't do all the shredding. My KitchenAid with the whisk handle attached is what does my shredding, okay? So that's an amazing trick. I love using that. I shred all my proteins in there, my carne para carne deshebrada, salpicón, you name it, my chicken. Perfectly shredded chicken in the KitchenAid if you have one, okay? You can also do a hand mixer as well, and it works perfectly. Camera lady, what are your favorite enchiladas? Rojas or verdes? Verdes?
De mole.
Y de mole?
Isabella, we have a question.
Yes.
They want to know if the tortilla is better a regular tortilla or a thicker tortilla.
You can do both. Honestly, you can do both. It's just your preference. I would just use the ones that you normally buy. The thinner ones tend to break a little bit, and these ones they work really well. So it's just up to you. I know some people like tortillas blancas, and other people like yellow corn tortillas, and I always buy these ones. So these are I would honestly use the ones you have in your fridge. They will work really well. We're gonna do a quick. Oil's not hot enough. Ando de desesperada. And what they say at a very local and famous place in Chula Vista is what is your favorite quote from Lolitas? Patience is the essence to fine Mexican food or cuisine. So I do believe that. I'm rushing the oil. Let's not rush the oil. Any questions while we wait for that oil? You can also make these vegetarian and just stuff them with cheese, okay? If you don't want to do chicken or you want to do half cheese or half chicken, mine actually have both. They have chicken and they have a little sprinkle of cheese that I like to do in the filling because I feel like that binds everything very well together and doesn't leave you with only dried chicken, okay? It's not dry, but you know, like mucho pollo. It's like a nice little ratio of cheese and chicken that I like to do in the filling, okay? So let's check. Okay, and if you want to check how hot your oil is, I would do a wooden spoon, and if it's not bubbling yet, so give it a couple minutes. And with this recipe, I think I don't know which one to choose. I don't know if I'm verdes or rojas, to be honest. It's really hard for me to pick because I like both, but honestly, I feel like I'm a verde chilaquiles kind of roja kind of chilaquiles kind of person. Like salsa roja is always my go-to over salsa verde. But this salsa verde enchiladas get topped with scallions that are marinated in a little bit of lemon and olive oil, and that makes me go nuts. So it might be a team verdes, I don't know. Okay, so now oil's hot and bubbling, and we're just, like I said, we're just gonna flash fry them, flash fry them. Just until they're nice and pliable.
Would you use the same sauce for the chilaquiles?
Yes, I would. But to my chilaquiles sauce, I also like to add a little bit of chipotle and jalapeno fresco.
The red or to the green?
Oh, for the green one, you can go ahead and just use that one for your green chilaquiles. But for the red one, I do like to add one serrano, one jalapeno, and a little bit of chipotle to it. So just like that, just enough until, just so they can bend and they're nice and pliable, okay? Enchiladas divorciadas. And this also helps the salsa to stay on the enchilada and cover it really nicely. It also helps your chilaquiles. Yeah, se me antojaron los chilaquiles. It also helps your tortillas not to be all mushy, okay? It's a nice little. Okay, we're gonna start with 6, okay? And I'm gonna grab paper towels to get rid of the excess oil. Still have the paper towels already on it, right? Okay. This guy. Sheet over here. Maybe you're gonna have to come over and show them what we're gonna start doing. Okay. We bring out my bag of cheese. So this is a cheese that I buy at Northgate. It's a 2-pound bag. It's queso monterey. You can use honestly whatever kind of cheese you want. Just make sure that it melts. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I have my chicken here. And I have my cheese. Okay. So I'm gonna go from this way. Gonna grab about a tablespoon of chicken. Vamos a hacer como unos taquitos, okay? We're gonna make these like rolled taquitos, okay? That's what we're gonna make. We're gonna do a nice little filling. Just place chicken on one side of your tortilla. Sorry. Like that. Pollito on one side. And we're gonna roll them up kind of like a little Cuban cigar, okay? Like that. And we're gonna sprinkle with cheese. Ooh, I love when they have cheese and chicken because the cheese helps, like I mentioned, everything come nicely together. We will get cheese on top, don't worry. There will be more cheese too. So I do like to add a little bit of in here, just like that. You can work in batches, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll up my enchilada, just like that. Just like that, okay? Roll your enchilada. This is gonna be, the cheese is gonna be nice and melted inside our baking dish. And I'm actually gonna grab our baking dish and start placing them there. But what I'm going to do is I like to add a little bit of that salsa, okay? I like to add a little bit of that salsa at the bottom of our pan. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab, I'm always gonna choose this side for the rojas, la salsa roja. Let's do half of them. There we go. Is that half enough? You just want to do a little bit of that because you don't want to only pour the salsa on top. You want to have a little bit of that salsa at the bottom as well. Just like that. Vean qué bonitas enchiladitas. Look at that, just like that. Enchiladas de restaurante, muchachos. Para que la suegra se desmaye. O el suegro también, siempre digo de las suegras. Puede ser el suegro, la prima, la tía enfadosa, no, no es cierto. El que el esposo enfadoso. Okay, look at that. I will mention that if you use bigger tortillas, because this one still fits in the red side. If you use bigger tortillas, you have to make less enchiladas and they'll be probably one or two. If you do smaller tortillas, you'll be making a lot of enchiladas and more prep or more rolling, okay? So we're gonna continue to fry our tortillas for that green side. There we go. Remember, it's just a quick fry. Make sure your oil is hot enough. Let's do that. Oil got a little bit hotter, so we're gonna work faster. Papá, ¿cuáles son tus enchiladas favoritas? Rojas. He's like me, he's team rojo. Rojas. ¿Y chilaquiles rojos o verdes? Rojo. Sí. We're a red kind of salsa people. But I really like that salsa verde that I mentioned that my mom used to make. The one with avocado cubes and chilled. Ooh. Huele a senaduría mi casa. Huele a restaurante mexicano. I feel like I have not met a person who does not like enchiladas. You know, there's other Mexican dishes that I feel like some people don't love. But enchiladas is just like a classic party dish, like a beginner dish, you know, like they don't mind enchiladas. Or everybody, a lot of people know what enchiladas are. That's another thing. So we're gonna continue. We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab about a tablespoon of chicken. I'm gonna place them on 1/2. Traigo un parizote aquí en mi casa, creo que ya quieren enchiladas. O están esperando el piquete, como todos ustedes, no es cierto. Pero hagan las enchiladas y después, and then you can reward yourselves with a piquete, okay? And remember, this is an Agua Fresca class, so you can give it to your kids, people who don't drink alcohol, okay? Puedes complacer a todos. And it's actually really good, because it has that basil that adds a little bit of sweetness and that little kick that it needs. There we go. Again, I'm gonna do the same thing. I start with my chicken, and then I sprinkle my cheese. Sprinkle a little bit of cheese, and I'm gonna, again, if you want to show them again how we roll, that would be awesome. So we're gonna roll them. So this is super easy to prep if you don't have like you don't want to, no quieres ensuciar tu cocina, you want to get your surface dirty, your counter. This is like a great way of, this is a nice surface to work on, okay? So we're gonna go that, we're gonna roll. Oh, we have to add our salsa, you guys. We have to add our salsa verde. Let me grab it. Okay. So we're gonna add a little bit of salsa. Don't worry, the salsa's in the bottom. We'll kind of mix, and it's fine. There we go. Whole enchilada. Even the dogs want some enchiladas. And we are gonna squeeze that last one in there, okay? Haya even numbers. There we go. So they already look like they're fighting. Ya se ven divorciadas. Todavía no está. Okay, now we're gonna top him off with the rest of the salsa. Just like that. Just like that, we're doing verdes. And let's do the rojas.
Una señorita que se llama Camila, gustaría que le dieras un shout out.
Camila Cabellán. Hola, Camilonga. Ella me pidió que le llevara una enchilada. Le dije, ¿por qué una? Digo, por si sobran, llévame una. So I'll bring you a couple. Thank you for watching. Okay. Rojas y verdes, muchachos, divorciadas. Juntas pero no revueltas, como dicen. This is gonna get topped with a lot of cheese, okay? Clean my little dish. Mucho quesito, okay? Be generous, because this is. Okay? Los perros andan locos. Lots of cheese, you guys. Half and half, micha y micha, como dicen en mi casa. I'm gonna add more, okay? Échale, queso. No, so you know what? Because this cheese is gonna, it looks like a lot, but it's gonna be melted. And it's gonna help, not help, it's gonna finish these enchiladas. What? There we go. Cheesy, wheezy, no es cierto, pero sí, enchiladas que suenan, enchiladas sin queso no son enchiladas, por favor. Okay, we're gonna place these in the oven and we're gonna cook for about 20 minutes, okay? Listo. Timer for 20 minutes. And we're gonna move on to our agua fresca. No, let's do our cebollas first. No, it's because I have to make my cebollas, my topping for my, okay. So I'm gonna chop 2 scallions. This is the topping for enchiladas verdes, okay? Our enchiladas rojas get regular onion, white onion. And our enchiladas verdes, because we're sticking to the theme, have some scallions. So just 2 of these. And we're gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil and we're gonna add the juice of a lemon, okay? And that's it, no salt or anything, it's just to add a little bit of extra acidity to our acidity and crunchiness, I guess, to our enchiladas. And I know lemon on enchiladas, but trust me, you have to do this. You have to do these cebollitas, okay? Uy, ya lo pusieron a Cristian Noval. There we go. And I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil in here. There we go. And we're just gonna mix, okay? Just like that. Son como cebollitas curtidas. So it's like kind of like, not pickled, but they're marinated onion, okay? And we're gonna serve them just like that. We're gonna leave that there, and we're gonna move on to our agua fresca while our enchiladas are becoming nice and cheesy, melty, and broiled, okay? Can I get the little bowl for the ice, please? Okay, cool. So moving on, you guys. Oh, perfect. Are we good? Perfecto. Okay, you guys. So agua fresca is also one of those things. It's a staple, okay, at our homes, our Mexican or Latin homes. El agua fresca. Always, your parents always want to te quieren meter fruta hasta por los oídos, ¿verdad? Por todos lados. Entonces, we're going to be doing a agua fresca, pineapple water, or pineapple water. I love pineapple. I'm not a fruit person. I've mentioned that a lot, but I have a few selection of fruits that I do like, and pineapple is one of them, okay? And we're adding that special little touch, which is albahaca or basil, okay? Which is gonna make it different. We're starting off with 4 cups of pineapple chunks, or, and they can be fresh or they can be frozen, but you have to thaw them. And this is about a whole pineapple, okay? We're gonna add piña para la niña, como dicen. Have a flyaway. So in here I have the 4 cups or 1 whole pineapple, about in chunks, okay? I'm gonna do 4 cups of water. And I'm gonna add about 4 to 5 basil leaves, okay? I'm just gonna add them whole. You don't need a, let me get this guy. This is for decor. Little ones, and then there we go. Perfect. And this little guy, why I saved it is because I use this for decor. Okay, I use the pineapple leaves for decor for my agua fresca. And if you want to add that together, it makes a great cocktail garnish, okay? What is going on over here? Enchilada party. Okay, and we are gonna sweeten to taste when we're done, okay? The blend. There we go. Easy peasy, así de fácil. La agüita fresca. I mean, Northgate has amazing agua fresca too. Okay, but this one has albahaca. So you can make it at home whenever you want. And I'm gonna sweeten well after we strain, okay? So in here, I would have some pre-made agua fresca, but I'll show you how I strain it. And you do want to strain it because you want to get rid of this foam, and you want to get rid of any pieces extra pieces that you have. Extra chunks that you don't want. I'm honestly a little picky with my agua fresca. I don't like it to be chunky. I don't like pieces of my fruit. I like it to be nice, licuadita, and strained, okay? With that, and that basil, the moment that you blend it in there, releases its flavor, right? So you want to make a mess. You can already see my poison of choice today is going to be people's block. You can add whatever you want. You can add mezcal, which goes really well with pineapple. You can add tequila. You can add, honestly, rum. You can add, I'm going to do sake with this, to be honest. Esta mejor le echa la horchata porque es de arroz. Aquí hay muchas opiniones, muchachos. Espero que en tu familia sea igual. Porque aquí todos opinan de todo. Ya los voy a poner bien a gusto con esta agua fresca con la mitad de esa botella de tintas. No, pero, okay, so you will continue to do this. I'm going to leave this in the back. Don't worry, we're going to be using this agua fresca later in my house. But I wanted to show you. Okay. Agüita fresca de piña con albahaca. That's different. Diferente, pero delicioso. Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little bit of this. And sometimes the fruit is super sweet and ripe, and we don't need a lot of sugar or a lot of. I'm going to do a little bit of honey. You can also do agave nectar. You can also do brown sugar, coconut sugar, your preference. I'm just going to add a little bit of honey. I'm going to mix. And actually, pineapple already has a bit of a flavor profiles of honey, so honey goes really well with this. Honey or agave. Vean el color de esta agüita rica. Let's try it again. That's perfect. Ooh, that basil is super subtle, but it's super good. Let me add ice to my, I will like this, but I will like flavor. Let me add a couple of ice in here, cubes. An agua fresca on a hot summer day, I would love those days when my mom would make agua fresca. She would also make agua de pino, which is so good. More ice, and just one more. Okay, so serve in glasses with lots of ice. Give it a little swirl before serving. Rico. This sounds really good. A little intense, hasta me puse nerviosa. My goodness, that's better. Mixing up again. Look at that, you guys. Agüita fresca. Oh, I forgot to add the vodka. I'll drink a little bit this one. Oh, the good one. Ah, this is a better one. Okay. 2 ounces of vodka. We're gonna eyeball it. About that. I'm not gonna add it to all of this because there's kids in the house and I'm not gonna drink. So I'll add it to mine. They all laugh. Mole borrachos. Okay. I'm gonna drink it. Piña vodka reminds me of my younger years. Okay, I'm gonna garnish with these little pineapple leaves. I'm gonna do a little bit of basil. Just garnish. Look at that. Ooh, esto con las enchiladitas. Perfect. Let's show them. Do a close up of this. El mío tiene piquete. Y este es virgen. Y salud. Salud y provechito. We're going to go back to the enchiladas, but any questions on agua fresca?
Salud.
Ooh. We're good? Se me hace que sí están esperando las enchiladas, ¿verdad? Ya no vamos a faltar. Check on them. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick broil just because I want to show you how they look and how they look when they're nice and melty and cheesy. And let me clean up my area so I can plate them and show you what goes on top of which ones.
Can they use simple syrup instead of honey for the drink?
Yes, you can definitely do simple syrup. That was always a go-to. Simple syrup, honey, brown sugar, agave. Agave is
And
like what they sweeten agua frescas at Northgate with. So,
Yeah. And we had people cooking with us today, so don't forget to tag Isabela.
please, please do. It's always really exciting when you guys cook our food.
You know, I did your queso fundido this weekend.
Ooh, did you like it?
Oh my gosh, everybody was like, what did you do different? And I go, mushrooms and onions.
It's super easy. It's like, it's not even a recipe. It's like, you just put things in a skillet.
It was really good. Thank you for the recipe.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Go check again. Oh, cheese is looking nice and melty. I'm gonna go grab my cocktail. I'm broiling. I'm broiling just to show you guys.
As you're broiling, let me tell everybody. So next week, our Baja style classes start, and our first class is next week, and it's I believe we're having shrimp, chile rellenos estilo Rosarito. But then you come back in 2 weeks and you're going to show us how to do un aguachile de ribeye, aguachile de callo, and a beer pairing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
But yes, that aguachile, ribeye aguachile, well, is basically what it is. So it's un aguachile de carne. It's so, so good, okay, you guys? Make sure you come back. It's on March 3rd and sign up for that class. It's really exciting. It's a, yo quiero decir que se inventó en Tijuana ese platillo. I don't know, but I do want to say that it's from Tijuana because I haven't seen it anywhere else. Es un invento tijuanense. But do come back for that aguachile de ribeye y aguachile de callos. So good. And we're going to pair it with some beers, some local beers.
And yes, we'll get you the ingredient list a day before or when you sign up. That way you can cook with Isabela.
Yes. Mucha gente va a comer cenar enchiladas. Oh, there we go. Rushed it a little bit. But perfect. My camera lady's doing some yoga over there. She's not paying attention. Let's show you these enchiladas, baby. Enséñales las enchiladas. Enséñales mi labor of love.
Wow. That is labor of love.
Oh my God. Oh my God. My goodness. Okay. And I'm going to plate them, okay? You can do all the toppings. Well, let's just do all the toppings on here. Okay, they have different toppings because that's how I make them and how I like to make them. Looking for my spatula. Okay. Ooh, qué rico huele. Okay, so we're gonna do dos rojas. We're gonna do dos rojas, and we're gonna do dos verdes, okay? Vean estas enchiladitas, muchachos.
Look
Rojas.
at that.
And we're gonna do verdes. Están recién salidas, muchachos. I would normally let them rest for about 5 minutes. Las verdes y las rojas. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. Okay. Rojas y verdes. We are going to, let me get this guy out of the way because I feel like I might burn myself. Okay, rojas y verdes. A las rojas. Wait.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna add onion slices. And you can do as much as you'd like. And then for these guys, I'm going to add, let me grab my queso fresco and my crema. If I can find my queso fresco. I had to improvise. I had a crumbled one. Okay, I'm gonna do queso fresco crumble on the green one. Uf, vean qué rico. Just like that. There we go. And then we are gonna top off with crema agria, crema mexicana from Cacique. And this is how I would serve it to a guest or somebody at my house. Mitad y mitad, micha y micha, como dicen. On top of the verdes, we're gonna do the little cebollitas that you marinated in the olive oil and lime or limon, lemon, look at that. And then we're gonna add cilantro leaves a las rojas. And there you go, you guys, estilo restaurant, ¿qué pasó? There you go. And I can add a little bit of Maldon salt or kosher salt on top. Rojas y verdes.
Wow, they look delicious.
No, they're clapping because they want them, okay?
I would be clapping too, and I think the audience agrees with them. That was an
I can smell what's going on in here, so.
excellent recipe. Thank you so much for hosting us today, Isabela. This was just delicious. Yes. Oh, look, you see una porra.
Provechito, enjoy.
Thank you. Have an amazing evening. Y hasta pronto.